name is cydnaide, but you can call me Cy, and welcome, and for those returning, I see you, boo.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. Director Kjun just posted his Wednesday devlog response to Friday's community feedback, and to say that more or less that is similar from the last week and the week before's, it's kind of like him constantly going over saying that he hears us and that the team and him are working towards deepening the systems as players have asked. But I realized, and also as I was reading, I began to see where he is also clarifying some things and just going into better detail about where their direction is heading. So we're just going to I'm just going to read this and not try to summarize or simplify what he had written. However, I'm just, again, going to read through everything, and you guys comment down below what you feel about his response and where you can see things going with this new directional shift the team is taking. Whether or not if we're going to be team concerned or still team let them cook. Anyway, with that being said, let's just jump right into his response, shall we? Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for taking the time to share so much feedback with us. We have carefully read through all of your comments, and while organizing this round of feedback, it gave us another opportunity to reflect on what the community is truly hoping to see from inZOI and where we should focus our efforts moving forward. This week, many players responded positively to the new features that have been added to the game, including schools, businesses, vehicles, family systems, shopping, relationships, and various life simulation activities. We are grateful to see that these additions are being noticed and appreciated. At the time, one message appeared repeatedly throughout the feedback. It is no longer about how many features exist, but about how those features connect with each other. For example, if school exists in the game, they should be more than just places where Zoids attend classes. School life should influence grades, friendships, personality development, future career opportunities, and family relationships. Business should be more than a way to earn money. They should connect with customers, employees, economic activity, daily routines, and lifestyles. Vehicles should not simply function as transportation. They should influence schedules, commuting patterns, lifestyle choices, and everyday decisions. I definitely agree with the vehicles, because right now, when we take our vehicles out, sometimes your Zoids will put their vehicle up and still choose to go on the bus or in the subways. And to me, that doesn't make sense. You know, if I have a car, my Zoi should choose to want to ride in their vehicle of choice. And their vehicle of choice should be the one that's on their person or in the little vehicle area. So them being able to, add that autonomousness for your Zoids to pick out their vehicles, no matter what it is, a car, not a bus, a car, a motorbike, a scooter, any of those things, they should be able to do that, autonomously, instead of choosing to go to the nearest bus station, which sometimes is not the nearest, it's sometimes the farthest out, or the subway station. So yeah, I would love to see, more autonomy for vehicles and for certain other aspects of the game. But yeah, anyway, let's continue. Ultimately, what many of you are asking for is not a game with many separate systems, but a simulation where every system affects every other system and creates experiences that feel closer to real life. Amen. Like, don't get me wrong, I do love all the different things that they were trying to put in the game, and then we're going to go kind of over that to flesh out. But I understand why they're shifting their direction again, based off player feedback. Like, I see the merit of what people are asking for, which is adding and connecting things together. And I also feel like that they should not stop like the different updates that they were going to do, which was Canvas Town, which was expanding the police and crime careers. It's careers. Yeah. Not necessarily the careers, but the police and crime systems. Like, I would like to see that better fleshed out, where people go to not necessarily just go to jail, but also to get detained. Like, if they crash their car into people more than once in a day, like actual car insurance claims being brought up with each car accident they do, so it would make Zoids, or I would say the players, more self-conscious of how they should drive. And if they decide to drive crazy, that they can get, consequences for that. And basically what the community is really asking for is, please add more consequences. And I would say, more consequences and more reasons to do the things that we're doing. Besides just, they have a little moonlit and then they move on about their day. There should be something that develops over time, like a Zoid being scared to drive their car if they constantly get into car crashes or stuff like that. It doesn't have to be super deep, but it has to have a reason behind it, if that makes sense. But again, let's continue. As we think about the future of development, our future Our focus is shifting from simply asking, what should we add next, to asking, how can we make the systems we already have interact more naturally? Yes, because right now, one of my biggest things is like I play off camera, of course. I let y'all know that I play extensively off camera. Good Lord. I have way too many hours in this game, but that's a good thing. And that also helps us, those that, do play it a lot, realize that there are some shortcomings in the game that should be brought up. And one of those shortcomings for me is the pregnancy and labor situation. Okay, so my Zoe and her husband, they have been very cute with one another. They're devoted to one another, and they just generally love each other, right? Now, with this devoted husband, he would be more concerned about his pregnant wife and how her pregnancy progressing. He does not ask on his own, which I feel like is kind of weird, right? That he's not asking his pregnant wife that he loves dearly about how her pregnancy is progressing without me prompting. I feel like there should be more autonomous interactions between Zoes, especially if they are if they're, devoted to being a good family person and a good spouse, that they would, on their own choose to talk to their spouse about, the pregnancy and about how they're feeling, because they genuinely care about them. I feel like that should be a situational awareness thing. Like, for instance, like if your Zoe is, your female Zoe is, pregnant and she gets morning sickness, he should immediately get up, check on her health, and then offer her the candy. But I have to do that. And I feel like that's not realistic in the sense of two Zoes that are really up each other's butt all the time. So I understand like that needs to be fleshed out, as well as my biggest and glaring issue, besides just the nuance of, checking on your Zoes and all that kind of stuff. But when they get ready to give birth to the babies, the Zoe does not experience any other moodlet outside of just feeling the normal moodlets. She's about to give birth. She should be groaning. Her back should be hurting. She's supposed to be going slower. Her mood's supposed to be much more, volatile because she's in pain. But she doesn't have, my Zoe had none of this. Not even uncomfortable that her back hurting or anything like that. There was none of that. And her husband didn't care, or, well, I ain't gonna say he didn't care, but the way the game shows it is that he wasn't concerned or anything when she was, when she was ready to give birth to the baby. When you click the button, it's like give birth, he just stone face, just staring, no reaction. And I feel like that definitely needs to be fixed on or, added to, because who's gonna sit there realistically and watch their significant other give birth and be hollering in pain and not give any kind of comfort or shows that they're trying to be, present. But I'm guessing that maybe they'll do that with the hospital update, but that is something they definitely need to work into there until we get the hospitals and stuff like that, and being able to go into the hospital with our Zoes and stuff like that, that we need to have some reaction beyond just, certain reactions on certain things. And that's one of those things that need to deepen, but I'm sure they will eventually. But I definitely put my suggestion down in the Discord. If you don't have Discord or anything like that, go onto the forums and let them know, more voices, more visibility to what we are to these certain concerns. We definitely need to let them see that stuff, because at the end of the day, if they're going to go in a direction where they're deepening systems, this is the time now for us to band together and say, hey, this right here needs more deepening, this needs more context, this right here needs more than just a situational thing based off of that one situation and then forgotten. This is the perfect time to let them know, since they're going in this direction. So leave down in the comment section if you guys are scared to go to the forum or Discord. I will post your suggestions in the Discord for you, and let them know that, the community is asking for this, that the ones that are more quiet or don't want to, say too much of anything on these different platforms, but they are saying, hey, we need this or that, because your voice matters at the end of the day. But yeah. But with that being said, let's continue. As we think about the future of development, our focus is shifting from simply asking, whoopsie. One example of this direction is our upcoming improvements to the cooking and meal systems. Yes! I can't tell you how excited I am about that. Ingredients obtained through farming and fishing will be usable in recipes, leaving food unattended. Excuse me, I did not read that correctly. Ingredients obtained through farming and fishing will be usable in recipes. Leaving food unattended in the oven may cause fires. We want more situations where different systems naturally interact with one another and create meaningful consequences. Yes, consequences. We need consequences. With that being said, we also need to show when a meal is bad, burnt, or something like that, or gone bad. And to show that Zoes autonomously notice these things. Because if you see burnt food, your Zoe should be like, no, I won't eat that. Or if they see rotten food, they go, no, I don't want to eat that. And if they see good food, they go, that smells really good. Like, just, it doesn't have to be cartoony or overdone. It could be subtle. And I would like to see more of that. And I think I might post it again. Let's see, I might post my response that I posted today again in the Friday update that he gives, and along with the atom of food being like visually not just pretty all the time, but have, like, if a poor cook or a cook that has a low level has gross looking food, it needs to look like that, so. And I would say, if they're going to take anything from The Sims, is to definitely not prettify everything and make certain things like food items or even things like that look grunge. Like they did it with the vegetables and stuff. Like if you get bad looking produce, it looks bad. And I feel like it should show that, especially if you use said produce for a meal and you try to serve it up to someone, it should look bad, So hopefully that they will, do that. By strengthening these connections, we hope to create a world that feels more immersive and believable. We also saw a great deal of excitement surrounding mod support. Many players pointed out that modding communities can greatly extend the lifespan of a game, and we completely agree. However, we also noticed a concern that appeared frequently in your feedback. Mods should expand the game, not complete it. We share this view. And he actually said last week on Friday that they want to ask the community about, as far as making mods and like adding certain things in until they can get to it. He did put that in his response. But anyway, like again, context is always king in every situation. If you have context, you don't make up yourself. But again, clarification is good, and he didn't take no, Kjun knows never take any offense to, people, sharing their concerns. So we aren't either. Well, we try not to. Core gameplay systems, simulation depth, stability, and natural interactions are areas that should be the responsibility of the official game. Correct. Mods should serve as a platform for creativity and expansion, not as a requirement to fix or complete menacing fundamentals. Correct. Stability remains another major priority for us. And then he pivots over into talking about stability. Recent feedback included reports of crashes, regressions, UI issues, unexpected behavior, and bugs affecting various features. While adding new content is important, we fully understand that a stable and reliable experience is the foundation of everything else. Correct. Regression bugs in particular can significantly impact the player's experience and updates, and we are treating them with a high level of urgency. Alongside with new feature development, we will continue dedicating resources to stability improvements, bug fixing, and overall quality enhancements. One of the most frequently discussed topics in this round of feedback was the depth of the ZOIs themselves, because I explained earlier about, Anyway, many comments discussed schools, hospitals, businesses, families, and other systems, but underneath those discussions, we saw a common desire. We want ZOIs to feel more human. Players want ZOIs who react differently based on their personalities, I agree, experience different emotions depending on their relationships, remember important moments from their past, make decisions based on context, distinguish between family and friends, and experience conflict, growth, and reconciliation. Yes, I would love to see that. The more these elements are strengthened, the closer the game moves towards becoming a living simulation rather than simply a collection of features. Yes. And I see the merit in what they're saying, like, please deepen what we have, because I can see that. But again, I would still like for them to continue to add the features that they had planned, like the prison and crime systems, the cars system where they're going to do more with the cars. I would like to see more family stuff, more stuff with food, because I do love the aspect of rags to riches where we can like grow our own food and produce and don't have to necessarily go to the store to get those said produce and stuff, or even selling to the different stores from our produce stands or from what we have. Like, I would love to see that, or owning your own grocery store. Like, give us those abilities. Like, I love those kind of rags to riches, because those were fun to play back in the old Sims games, like in Sims 2 and Sims 3. Sims 3 not as much, because we didn't never have actual stores in that one. You could own the thrift shop kind of thing, but it wasn't the same. And so it kind of lost itself in that one. But for me, I still enjoyed when I went to go out collect stuff and went to harvest and grow crops. I still enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? So if they could manage to make it so that we can have that in this game, where we can just have our own grocery stores that we own with our own produce and stuff, that would be phenomenal. And same thing goes for even our restaurant businesses or our cafes, kind of like systems. I feel like the current displays we have do not work in our favor, because they only give you up to 4 slots. 4 slots for a meal that you can put up to 8 pieces. Then we're losing $4 worth of, not $4, but 4 other extra servings that we could have used. And then not to mention for the autonomy for businesses is kind of wonky a little bit, because employees go to put down an item, they're constantly making food and basically burning a hole in our pockets, but they don't do that. Oh, not consistently anyway. So I've noticed that bug for me as well. And we have already begun moving in this direction through systems such as newborn development, personality evolution, which I do like, and the acquisition of traits through life experience and consequences. Going forward, we plan to expand personality diversity, lifestyle archetypes. Oh, I like that. Lifestyle archetypes. Okay. Contextual behaviors and reactions to surrounding situations. We want relationships to feel more meaningful and immersive, and we will continue improving how Zoids understand and respond to the world around them. Now, I did see someone else's concern, which was one of my concerns, was for Zoid personalities, we need more than 2 characteristics. I think I even brought this up a while back. I don't know if I left it in my video or not, but one of my biggest gripes was the characteristics. We only get 2 and a trait. The trait and then the 2 things that underneath it, which I call the characteristics. We need more. We need more slots than 2. Like that's even less than even Sims 4, and that's crazy. So I'm like, we need to definitely find a medium here, because someone put it out there, like, you can have a malicious Zoid that is devoted and also nice to their significant other, or like artistic or something like that. And I feel like that's, yeah, or they're like snobby or materialistic. And I think that's one of the things, that they could be snob, like / materialistic, devoted, and again, malicious. But like, if we just get stuck with just 2, you can't make that. And so it's not dynamic enough. And I feel that, like, if we can get up to 3 or even 4, like I'll settle at 4 or 5, honestly, slots for characteristics so we can use for Zoid personalities. And then they get like kind of like this progression thing with like how Sims did it, or specifically Sims 3, because Sims 2 didn't have this system, and I didn't play Sims 1, so I can't make a comment on that one. But in Sims 3, as your kids get older, they get new, traits. And so I feel like we definitely need to have like a base trait that can change depending on how often they do something, maybe. But characteristics definitely should change if they are over prolonged use of doing something specific. Like, say, for instance, if a gloomy Zoid, again, or one they call depressed, if they continue to be around good people in their lives and have therapy and, get, better off, then they do develop out of being depressed, and they can be cheerful and, more optimistic about life. I love that. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see that. But anyway, that's something I would love to see. And I feel like a lot of other people do too. We want relationships to feel more meaningful and immersive, and we will continue improving how Zoids understand and respond to the world around them. Our current priorities remain clear. First, we will continue addressing crashes, stability issues, performance improvements, and major bugs. Second, we will deepen the core simulation systems, including personality, relationships, emotions, memories, and autonomous behavior. Yes, because we need it so bad, Kjun. We need autonomous behavior so bad, where they're not annoying, but they work with what the situation is going around your current Zoid. After that, we will continue expanding the world, introducing new content in a more sustainable way. Modding and UGC will also remain important long-term pillars of the project, but we believe they should grow on top of a strong and complete foundation. Now, this kind of sounds like they're pushing script mods back. Please don't. Do not push that further back, because I would love to see what other people can do with script mods, because again, they add a different layer. But I understand where they're coming from too, if they decide to do this, because if the community is saying don't rely on script mods, then I feel like the team will 100% push the thought or the idea of script mods back, which probably would throw a lot of people off. And like, okay, they keep pushing it back because people keep complaining about, don't let the modders carry your game. Like, again, I don't feel like that's what they're doing. They've showed consistently that they take whatever idea from a modder and put it in the game, and then those people don't have to put those mods or make those mods or update those mods anymore. But again, we'll just have to see what they do. Like I can't say because he didn't say anything definitive about whether or not they're not going to continue pushing forward for script models coming out this summer. But they have not said anything towards it or against it. So again, this is one of those we have to see situations. We still have many areas where we can improve, and there will be times when we cannot solve every problem as quickly as we would like. However, one thing is certain: we continue to learn from your feedback every day, and our goal is not to simply add more features, but to create a simulation that is more stable, more natural, and more deeply connected. Thank you always for your honesty, your support, and your passion for inZOI. We will continue listening, improving, and doing our best to show these improvements inside the game itself. And finally, this may technically be another new feature, but hopefully you'll forgive us for that. We have implemented family photos. As a small celebration, we would like to share one with you. Maybe one day we'll all gather together and take one giant inZOI family photo. Wouldn't that be something? Kjun. And then he has the picture down here. And it's so funny how the mom and holding the babies in their arm like this. Like I feel like the dad would do that, but it's still kind of funny to see. Like all of this is very cute indeed. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section what you guys are feeling about, his response this week. I feel like it's still what those specific things, and he's pointing out each of those specific things for us. And I do like that he goes into detail in that regard about the things that the community have pointed out what they would like to see worked on, and that he does go into more detail so we can understand, and him and the team can understand what we're asking for, because then we can then open up a discussion and say, yeah, that's what we mean, and add this on there too. And it adds more to what needs to be done and fixed in the game. So yeah, but yeah, let me know down in the comment section what you guys are feeling about it. Are you still team let them cook? Are you team concerned? Are you team this is the direction we would like to go, but I would like to see more of what you're going to do? So yeah, anyway, and like always, if you like my content and want to support your girl, leave a like, comment, or subscribe for more vids like these where I cover most Wednesday and Friday devlog posts, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.